It's very easy to manipulate the rotation as well as the scale of any artwork that you draw or import by using the simple selection tool here. And what we're going to do with this guy is we're going to scale this instance of a pirate ship that I created. So with the select tool, what you could do is if your artwork is grouped, simply click anywhere on your artwork to select all of it. But if it wasn't grouped, you would select the part that you wanted to. So since my ship is already grouped, I can click anywhere. Likewise, what I could do is if I have a group of images that I want to scale or rotate, but I don't want to group them together, let's make believe I had 3 pirate ships on my workspace here. And what I could do is I can click and drag a marquee to grab all of the elements contained within it, and then that would select it. So having said that, what you will get when you do that is, let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. You get this selection area here, and what we could do is we could use these handles to scale our artwork. Now there's a difference in how each one of these handles works. The ones in the corners will allow you to scale from that corner inwards or out. For example, I can click my mouse and drag to scale the artwork this way, or I can scale this way. Now you'll notice that when you do this, you're able to also stretch and squash the artwork. But what if you want to constrain it or keep it the way it is, for example in proportion, but just want to resize it? What you have to do is hold down on your keyboard the Shift key. So you hold Shift down first, then you click, and now the proportions will remain constrained. So you won't distort the artwork at all. You just simply resize it. Likewise, if I use the handles here in the middle, I can squash or stretch the artwork. So this won't necessarily resize it, it will just allow you to deform it. Now how about rotation? Well, first of all, let's talk about the rotational pivot, and that's this guy right here. Whenever you use the select tool, you can use the rotational pivot to change how you're going to rotate the object, or from the axis in which you'll rotate. For example, it's currently in the center of this ship. So if I move my mouse over to this rotation handle, I can click and move my mouse, and it will rotate around that axis. But what I could do is I want to move this pivot point is I can click and move it anywhere I want to. For example, I'll move it over here. Now this is only temporary. So as long as I haven't deselected this, I can click and I can rotate now from that area. Isn't that cool? Now, what do I mean by it's not permanent? Well, I can go ahead and click anywhere, for example, to deselect. And when I click on my ship again, it's right back in the center. So it's not a permanent solution. It's only temporary, so you can just go ahead and rotate things the way you want to. Now I can rotate from here, for example. So once again, to scale, all you have to do is use these handles on the outside. The center ones will allow you to squash and stretch. The corner ones will allow you to resize. And when you hold down the Shift key, you can constrain those proportions. And you use the rotational handle to rotate your object about the pivot point. And the pivot point can be placed anywhere you want to place it, and it's only temporary until you deselect the object. And when you select it again, the pivot point returns to its default center position.